Hardison.
Here.
Hicks.
Here.
Fish.
Here.
Hagberg.
Here.
Kwame.
Here.
Rupert.
Here. We have a quorum. First item on the agenda is the swearing in of the newly elected city council members, and we'll call on our city attorney, Ralph Nicomo. Good evening, Ralph.
Good evening, Your Honor. Thank you. I'll ask Councilmember Roofer, Thompson, Hicks, and Fish, and Mayor Shire, please stand and raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Anthony Hicks,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I
will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties of office of the city council member or mayor
and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of a city council member
in the city of Fergus Falls.
in the city of Fergus Falls and county of Otter Tail and state of Minnesota to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God.
in the city of Fergus Falls,
and
the county of Otter Tail,
Minnesota,
and the state of Minnesota,
judgment
to
and
the best
ability,
of my
so help me
judgment
God.
and ability. So help me God.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations.
Thank you, Ralph. And with that, the next item is the approval of the agenda, and I will call on our city administrator, Andrew Bremseth. Good evening, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Good evening, members. We sent out an updated agenda earlier today, but the only change that we have on the agenda is number 4 under new business, which is an update on the Nordic Ski Association Fergus Falls School District partnership with the city of Fergus Falls.
Thank you, Andrew. With that, I would entertain a motion approving the agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Fish.
Thank you, Jim. Second.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Brent. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Hardison.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hagberg.
Yes.
Kwame.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes. That motion is approved. There are no public hearings this evening, there are no bids to award, and there are no petitions and communications. Under the consent agenda, we have 9 items this evening for consideration. They've been presented. If anyone would like to talk about any of those items individually, we will remove them. Hearing no one, I would entertain a resolution approving the consent agenda as presented.
I'll
offer that.
I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Caroline. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Hardison.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hagberg.
Yes.
Kwame.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes. That resolution is approved. There are no ordinance or resolutions this evening. Under presentation of claims, tonight we have claims in the amount of $500,582.34. If there's any questions, we'll direct to our city finance director.
Resolution Fish.
Thank you, Jim.
Second, Hagberg.
Thank you, Krista. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Hardison.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hagberg.
Yes.
Kwame.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes. That resolution is approved. There are no board committee department reports. There are no reports from staff administrative officers, and there is no old or unfinished business that I'm aware of. There are a few items under new business. The first item will be a motion to appoint the members to the various city boards and commissions. That list has been included in your packets, and if anyone has any questions, we could entertain them now. Or I would also look for a motion, to approve that, those appointments to the various boards and commissions.
Arneson, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Justin.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Anthony. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Arneson.
Yes.
Jesperson.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hagbird.
Yes.
Kwame.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes.
That motion is approved. Item number 2 is a motion appointing the 2021 acting mayor. And I would look to someone to make a motion to that effect.
I would like to make the motion for Tom Roofer.
I'll
Brent?
second, Your Honor.
Brent Thompson makes the motion to appoint Tom Roofer as the acting mayor for 2021, seconded by Justin Arneson.
Are you guys sure that's a good idea?
Other than Tom, is there any other discussion?
Move nomination cease.
There's a motion to cease the nominations. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Arneson.
Yes.
Jesperson.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hagbird. Hagbird. Krista.
Intergalactic pause.
Krista?
Oh, I didn't hear my name. Yes.
Kwame.
Yes.
Rupert.
Present. Yes.
That motion
I
is
didn't hear
approved.
my name either, but that's a yes for me.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Caroline. That motion is approved. Item number 3 is a motion approving the 2021 mayor's council appointments, and I will just have, I'll have Andrew read through those briefly, if that's okay. Andrew, can you do that?
You bet, absolutely, Your Honor. Members, the 2021 council appointments, Board of Equalization, Ward 1, Krista Hagberg, Ward 2, Scott Kwame, Ward 3, Brent Thompson, Ward 4, Caroline Gustafson. Business Development of Fergus Falls, Anthony Hicks. The Fire Department Relief Association is the Fire Chief, City Administrator, and Councilmember Fish. The Fire Department Trust Fund is the Fire Chief and Councilmember Kwame. The Golf Board member, Jim Fish. Hockey Association, Caroline Gustafson. Investment Committee, City Administrator, Finance Director, Assistant Finance Director, our Certified Financial Planner, and Justin Arneson. Legislative Committee, Mayor, City Administrator, Justin Arneson, and Tom Roofer. PEG Access Board, Councilmember Kwame. Personnel Committee, Krista Hagberg and Caroline Gustafson. The Senior Citizens Board, Brent Thompson. Tax Levy Committee, the Mayor, City Administrator, Caroline Gustafson. And Visit Fergus Falls, Jim Fish. And West Central Initiative Economic Development District, Krista Hagberg.
Thank you, Andrew. And we can adopt those by a motion. Would someone like to offer that?
I'll offer that.
Thank you, Krista.
I'll
second it.
Thank you, Anthony. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Thompson. Thompson.
Yes.
Arneson.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Fish.
Yes.
Hagbird.
Yes.
Kwame.
Yes.
Rupert.
Yes.
That motion is approved. Thank you. Last item under new business is an update on the Nordic Ski Association and the City of Fergus Falls and the School District Partnership. And we have a couple members from the Nordic Ski Association with us. I'll just start by saying that we were approached by the Nordic Ski Association a couple years ago. And as many of you know, last year they maintained a trail on a cross-country ski trail on the grounds of the Regional Treatment Center campus, which was very successful, very popular, and was utilized by many residents of the city. So we've worked with the Nordic Ski Association. We thank them for what they do and all the volunteer hours that they put in. And they reached out to the city in order to see if we could find a partnership where the city could help to expand those offerings, so we could have not only the trails at the Regional Treatment Center, but eventually have trails at the RTC and Roosevelt Park as well as the RTC and other areas around town. So maybe just want to turn it over to Wynn Roberts and Sam Van Winchell to kind of talk about what they envision for the trail system and the partnership that's been worked out with the city and with the school district. So good evening, Wynn. Do you want to start us off, or Sam, one of you?
Sam's the president. I think she needs to start it off.
President Sam, good evening.
Well, first I just want to say thank you to the city for allowing us to have trails in town in the parks. It's been a really great thing to bring to the city, and they're well used. I was out on Saturday and there were 7 people out within that hour that I was there. So we know they're being utilized, and last year we did candlelight ski and it was very popular too. So thank you again. And Wynn's kind of spearheaded this project and been the one grooming, so we're nominating Wynn to talk about the project.
Thanks, Sam. Good evening, Wynn.
Hello, good evening, everybody. And I'd just like to echo what Sam said. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity and putting the trust in the Otter Tail Nordic Ski Association to let us utilize some of the city parks for grooming. As Ben said, this is the second year that we've groomed in town. Last year we had a successful year. This year I think it'll be even more successful. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to see the video that Jesse Thorstead posted yet to Facebook, but it's been on for 2 days and he has 7,000 views. So that's pretty good, and that's up at the Kirkbride on the RTC trails. Our youth ski league, which has been in development over the last 7 or 8 years, which was the Damrose originally, and then the Mayors took over it, and now the Mosers, and there's another family that Sam can help me out with the name. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they had 60.
Ryan and Leah Anderson,
and they ended up having more kids come out for youth ski league than they have equipment for, and they said it's 60 participants, 2nd to 6th grade. And then the high school ski team, this is the 3rd year they've been recognized by the high school as an official school sport, not just a club sport. And they had 50 participants for the high school last year in 7th through 12th grade. So there's quite a bit of excitement in the community with new families and people that weren't necessarily from a skiing background, but their kids, through their friendships at school, have decided to get involved. And now that there's a trail in town, so parents can just kick their kids out of the house. They don't have to drive them 20 minutes to get to a ski trail. It's opened up more options, and I think we're seeing that by the amount of usage the trails are getting. So currently we've got the 1 mile loop at the Kirkbride. I think it'll be about a half-mile loop when it's finished being groomed at Roosevelt, and that will kind of be the primary spot. The high school kids ski just to offset busing out to Speedall Ski Guard, and then it's just extremely handy to have things in town. So does anybody have any questions or anything they would like brought back to the Fergus Falls Nordic Ski Association for Samurai?
Wynn, I have a question, Tom Roofer.
Mm-hmm.
Are these bikes open to properly bikes? Yeah, are these trails open to properly equipped bicycles, or would that ruin them?
I would say bike away.
Will do.
And the goal is, and sometimes people get fired up of people that go walking on ski trails, and our goal is to have things groomed frequently enough where it's not an issue.
Okay.
And
So
if
just
the
kinda
trails,
like any other, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if the trails, if we're able to maintain them the way we would like to, they should be firm enough so you can fat tire bike or walk on them without leaving noticeable damage. So it should not, I don't think it's an issue.
Awesome. Great. Well, I sure appreciate what you're doing. I hear a lot of good stuff about it. So thanks to the whole group and keep it up.
And I just would also point out that this Nordic Ski Association, in addition to the volunteer hours that they put in, they've also raised some money. So the city, I don't know if Guy is in the city council chambers, but if you would like to maybe talk about the equipment, but we're utilizing a current UTV that the city owns and purchasing some tracks, some snow tracks for that piece of equipment. The DNR has allowed us to use, if not take over the trail groomer that they have. And then there's some small equipment, some wings to make that wide enough. And then they're also, the school district is partnering as well to make sure that there's money to pay some of the city employees that are going to be required to groom the trails frequently to make sure that they're kept up. So anyway, it's a partnership, like we mentioned, between the city, the Nordic Ski Association, and the school district. So we're really thankful for those groups for stepping up, not only with their time, but with their resources as well, to make sure that we can offer this to our residents, not only the high school kids, but all of our residents. So thank you to Wynn, Sam, to all of the volunteers and everything you guys do. Thanks so much. Any other questions from the council?
I can just mention about the equipment.
Yeah, thanks, Guy.
Yeah, you bet. It's equipping the recently purchased Polaris Ranger with tracks. We're going to get tracks for that in probably about 3 weeks. We'll get them put on there, and then working with Sean Donate from the DNR. I believe it's the same groomer that Wynn's been using. We're going to be able to use that for quite a few years, it sounds like. So be a nice piece of equipment, and it'll make that Ranger more usable for fire, police, and public works as well. So appreciate the partnership.
Yeah, Scott, Kwame, did you have a question?
Yeah, I've got a question. Ben, you have in the past expressed interest in seeing the city develop the Old Smoky Hill. Is there any chance that there would be some future trail options at Old Smoky using this equipment and growing this program?
Yeah, great questions. I think, and I'll let either Wynn or Sam talk more to this, but I know that the Nordic Ski Association would love to see. They have a long list of places that they would like to see trails, including Old Smoky, out at De Lagoon Park. I think what makes sense is to, like last year we had the RTC, we had that loop, the mile loop there. Add a second one this year with Roosevelt. Make sure that we have the capacity from city staff and also the volunteers to. The more trail miles we can add, the better is the way I see it. But Sam, Wynn, right? I mean, if we can continue the interest and continue the partnership and the funding, we'll get as many trail miles in town as we can.
I think it'll be really great to have a lot of trails, and it's going to bring people to Fergus Falls as a destination to be skiing. So that would be really fun to see that develop.
Yeah, Scott, I would also mention.
I agree.
Yeah, and Scott, I would mention also, Sam, I think the city in the past, and you'd mentioned the other night, the possibility of applying for some funding through the, is it legacy funding? Is that what it was for the trails? Or you want to just talk briefly about that?
The DNR has a trails grant, and I think it's the same one that was on your consent agenda for Pedal Fergus Falls this evening. So it might be something where we look at it next year or talk with Pedal Fergus Falls to kind of partner. We looked at applying last year, but at that point we had 1 mile of trail in the RTC grounds. So we weren't overly competitive with just 1 mile worth of trails, but I think as we expand, we'll be more competitive for that grant.
Sure. Thank you, Sam. And again, thanks, Wynn, thanks, Sam, thanks, Nordic Ski Association for everything you do in this partnership. With that, I believe that's the last item on the agenda. There's no other items. If there's anything else, we could entertain that now. I don't have a gavel to close this meeting, but we're adjourned.
Say, Ben,
Yeah, Jim.
I have a question. There's miscellaneous announcements.
Yes.
It's got a work session on the 13th. Is that going to be in person or is that Zoom?
That, as of now, that will be Zoom, correct, Lynn?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's also one on the 25th at 5:30. Is that going to be in person or Zoom?
And we'll update that one. As of now, that one's Zoom, but as we get closer to that, if that changes, we'll let people know. But I think right now it's scheduled to be via Zoom. Is that correct, Lynn?
Yes, although with a joint work session with 3 fairly significant size groups, we'll have to see where the numbers with group gatherings can be at that point.
Yeah. So as of now, it's scheduled to be via Zoom, and if that changes, we'll make sure that people have plenty of advance warning on that.
Yeah,
All right,
and
thank
Your
you.
Honor, this is Andrew. We're also debating whether we bring the council back in person for the January 19th meetings. We want to see what the case numbers do here post-Christmas and New Year's, and if things are looking good in Otter Tail County, we'd love to have you guys back in the room.
Sounds good.
Sounds great. All right. Thank you, everyone. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone.
All righty.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year.